She once appeared on screen with a calm smile that audiences believed nothing could break, a glow shaped by decades of discipline, beauty, and the quiet confidence of a woman who had built her life from the ground up. Yet behind that poise lay a truth she never meant for the world to witness. It was written in the final notebooks she kept by her bedside, lines she penned while her body waged a war she could no longer control. Those pages did not just capture pain, they revealed fear, disappointment, and secrets her family later softened before letting the world read them. Why would an actress choose to document her own final days, and why did so much of her truth stay hidden? Jill Ireland was first known for her quiet elegance on British screens, a young actress whose presence felt both graceful and unshakable. She moved through the early years of her career with a determination that rarely drew attention to itself, choosing roles that allowed her to grow rather than chase immediate fame. Hollywood noticed, and soon she became a familiar face in a string of films that paired her poise with an understated emotional depth. Her partnership with Charles Bronson transformed her life even further. Together, they became one of the industry's most admired couples, working side by side on film sets around the world, building a family that many believed represented stability within an unstable business. At the height of her success, she seemed untouchable, a woman who had found a perfect balance between career and home, between ambition and tenderness. Few imagined that behind this luminous image lay a series of private struggles that would one day reshape everything she stood for. Jill Ireland grew up in a world that taught restraint before it taught expression. Her childhood was neither dramatic nor chaotic, but it carried a quiet strictness that shaped her ability to endure. She learned early that composure was a kind of armor, a way to move through life without revealing too much. Yet beneath that calm surface lived a girl who longed for a place where emotion was not only allowed but welcomed. Acting became that sanctuary. It offered her a space where she could give voice to feelings she rarely shared in everyday life. A place where vulnerability was not a weakness but a tool. Those first steps into the performing arts were not driven by dreams of fame. Instead, they were rooted in an inner need to understand herself, to explore the parts she kept hidden from view. This foundation, quiet resilience mixed with private passion, became the compass that guided her as she stepped into an industry that often demanded far more than it gave. When Jill entered the world of professional acting, she did so with a grace that made her stand out without ever asking for attention. Hollywood quickly recognized that rare blend of subtlety and strength, and roles began to find their way to her. The transition from British productions to American films opened doors she had never imagined, bringing her into the spotlight with a speed that felt both thrilling and overwhelming. Her partnership with Charles Bronson pushed that spotlight even wider. As their lives intertwined, the industry framed them as a symbol of stability, a couple whose bond seemed almost unshakable. Yet fame, once it settled on her shoulders, carried a weight she could not ignore. The demands of work stretched her time thin, leaving little space for rest or reflection. Privacy slipped away quietly, replaced by a constant awareness of eyes watching, judging, expecting. She learned to smile even when exhaustion blurred her days, to appear composed even when she felt stretched between career and family. In the glow of admiration, she began to sense the parts of herself that were slowly being overshadowed by everything she was trying to maintain. The moment her illness was confirmed, Jill felt something inside her shift, as if the rhythm that had carried her through years of discipline suddenly faltered. She kept moving as she always had, speaking softly, smiling politely, showing the world only what she believed it could handle. But privately, the ground beneath her life had begun to crack. Treatments consumed her strength, leaving her drained in ways even she had not expected. She brought a small notebook everywhere, filling its pages with thoughts she could not voice aloud. These writings revealed a woman trying to balance fear with dignity, hope with the harsh reality unfolding inside her body. Yet the most profound blow did not come from her illness. It came from within her own home. When she discovered that one of her children was battling addiction, something deeper than physical pain settled into her chest. She had spent years protecting her family from the pressures of fame, believing that structure and love would be enough. The realization that her child was slipping away shook her more than any diagnosis ever could. Her journal entries from that period carried a new tone, tender and fractured, as she struggled with the ache of wanting to save someone while fighting to keep herself alive. These passages, raw and deeply personal, were later softened before publication, their sharp edges tucked away to protect the people she loved. But in their original form, they revealed a mother quietly breaking, while the world continued to see only strength. In the final stretch of her private writings, Jill no longer tried to mold her thoughts into the steady tone the world expected from her. The pages grew softer, more reflective, shaped by a woman who understood that time was slipping through her hands in ways she could not slow. She wrote about the ordinary moments she missed most, the quiet mornings, the laughter around the house, the simple comfort of being able to move without calculating how much strength it would cost her. Her love for her family was woven into every line, alongside the sorrow of knowing she might not be there to guide them through the years ahead. She faced her decline with a calm that was not heroic, but human, a gentle yielding to the reality she had fought for so long. When she finally left, the world honored her courage, celebrating the actress who had turned her struggle into a message of resilience. Her memoir was embraced as a testament to grace under pressure, though the vulnerable corners of her truth remained unseen, shaped and softened before reaching the public. The legacy she left behind was not built from the roles she played, but from the honesty she offered in her final months. Those hidden pages, the ones written in private and kept from the world, carried the full weight of who she was, a woman navigating love, fear, and loss with a tenderness she rarely showed in public. In the end, what survived was both her story and its absence, a reminder that even the most open lives still contain rooms no one else will ever enter. Jill Ireland's life became a testament to the fragile line that separates the glow of recognition from the quiet weight of private struggle. Her story moved between moments of unmistakable radiance and chapters defined by fear, disappointment, and the quiet courage of someone trying to hold her world together as it slowly came apart. What the public saw was a woman who seemed endlessly composed, a figure of strength standing beside one of Hollywood's most imposing stars. What remained hidden were the doubts she carried, the heartbreak she endured, and the truth she poured into her notebooks when no audience was watching. In that space between fame and shadow, she revealed her most human self, honest in ways that were never meant for the spotlight. Her life invites us to remember that every celebrated figure carries unspoken stories, and every bright image is shaped by something much darker beneath. What part of her journey stays with you the most? And what would you have said to her if you had the chance? Fame and shadows. Every star has its story.